Hello everyone, welcome back to my gaming review. Today I want to talk about the Atari. This is not the original Atari, this is the 7800 Pro system. This is the Atari that I got a couple years ago when I first got into Atari. I didn't grow up with the system, but I've gotten a lot more into it. And a few years ago I got this from eBay in like new condition. So this is my Atari 7800. I should say I got Exevious on there now. I just want to talk about the Atari though. The Atari, I believe, yesterday turned 50 years old, so it was the 50th anniversary of Atari. The original, not this version. But yeah, Atari has gone 50 years old. And, it's a great console. There's many different models of the Atari that they have. You got the original OG Atari 2600. Then you have the Atari, I believe it's like the 5200. You got like the Atari computers that you can buy, and you have the Atari 7800. But the most well-known Atari is the 2600. I don't think many people know about the 7800 Pro System Atari that came out a little while ago. But Atari kept on upgrading their systems, so even if if you look to buy an Atari, there's many different options. You got the Atari 2600, you got the Atari 2600 Junior, which is like the little mini version, and then you got the Atari 5200. And then you got, there's so many different versions of the Atari that you can buy. And, all of the Atari systems come with the same games. You got, Exevious, pretty much for all of them, Mrs. Pac-Man, Dig Dug. Here is some games I have, and that are still boxed up. So I got this game right here. This is Dig Dug for the Atari 7800, which this game I believe is on the original 2600 and the 5200 version. But yeah, this is what the games look like. I got the game box. This is Dig Dug, pretty awesome. And I also have Mrs. Pac-Man for the Atari 2700. And I have a 2600 game because the 7800 can play. This console is backwards compatible with the original games. So I also have this game. This game is Fast Food, 2600 game. And yeah, those are my Atari games I have. I also got this cool gamepad that I bought for the console. And then yeah, I got Exevious in it right now. I've had a lot of fun with my Atari system, and I do want to expand my collection. I only have 4 games for my Atari. I got Exevious, Fast Food, Mrs. Pac-Man, and of course Dig Dug. So I do want to expand my collection. But anyway, I just want to talk about the Atari a little bit. Talk about the system. It's turned 50 years old. The Atari system, the original Atari 2600, is turned 50 years old, which is pretty crazy. And you got so many amazing games for the Atari. Let me talk about some of the games here. Mrs. Pac-Man. You got the original Pac-Man. You have Exevious. You have the tank game where you play as a tank. I think it's called Battle Zone. I believe it's what that game is called. You got a bunch of like maze games. You have a game called Pole Position, Choplifter. There's just a lot of fantastic games you can find on the Atari, a whole bunch of fantastic retro games. There's also many controller options nowadays. Like this is a third-party controller that works with the 7800 and the 2600, but it is a third-party controller, and it's very nice. It's very similar design to like the NES controller, and there's just a lot of fantastic games. You also got a game called Food Fight. Food Fight is an amazing Atari game that I have played a few times. The Atari also has Mario on it. It has Donkey Kong on the Atari. And, no matter, you got Berserk, which Berserk is a fantastic game. But anyway, no matter which Atari you have, there's a lot of fantastic games on the Atari systems that have been made. There's, games for everyone on the system. And, yeah, it's a great game console if you know, you can't really get any more retro than this. I mean, this is like, you know, the most retro console out there is the Atari. But yeah, if you're looking to get an Atari, or if you're somebody who's an Atari fan, you know, there's a lot of fantastic games on eBay, and you know, there's a lot of awesome Atari consoles out there that you can buy. There's also the new Atari, which is the Atari Vcs800 model, which is the new Atari that came out, I believe, a few years ago. It came out. I was actually thinking about picking it up, but I don't know if I want to pay $400 for an Atari system. So, I mean, when I bought this 7800 Pro System Atari, this console right here was like $100. So the new Atari that came out a few years ago is like $400, but it's because it's more of a PC than something like this. But it's still cool though that they did make a new model recently, you know, a few years ago. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. I just want to talk about the Atari. It was my Atari Pro System, my controller, got my awesome Atari games. Just wanted to show them off because Atari has turned 50 years old, and it was the 50th anniversary, I believe, yesterday. So, but it's a great system, whole bunch of fantastic retro style games. You know, graphics are not going to be amazing because it's an Atari. The controls are not going to be, you know, as amazing as other game consoles, but if you want that Atari experience, then this is a pretty cool console to get. And if you want like a really retro kind of system, I mean, this is, you know, as retro as it gets. But very cool system, and yeah, I'm gonna end the video here, so I hope everyone has a good day or night, and peace.